Sorry, my fault. And alright. What am I playing, bro? This one's... Sorry about being rude like that. I'm just really frustrated. Only late for school, but also managed to get lost on the way there. So, by the looks of it, we're pretty much on the same boat. By the stroke of once-in-a-lifetime luck, we just happened to bump into the prettiest girl in town. Shut up! That's crazy. Random name. So how about you lead the way and get both of us out of this gym? Don't wanna. What? What do you mean you don't wanna? You don't show me ways never arising either. Or did that thought not even cross your crayon-fed brain cavity? I don't go to school. Bullshit. Cut the crap. I can see your crusty ass uniform. No living person would dare to go out looking like a filled trash bag by choice. Though considering how little activity there actually is inside your skull, I'm willing to admit you sure as hell don't seem like you've ever been to school. Actually, I'm lost too. Just my luck. No. In retrospect, I guess you wouldn't be here with me right now if you weren't lost as well. Oh well, no point in crying over spilled blood. We might as well just wait for another student to come by and follow us and follow them instead. Mirage. Don't bother telling me your name though. Wandering around like headless chickens would only get us even more. Since we're both heading to school and ended up meeting right here, that means there's a very high likelihood of us somewhere. Therefore, we better all just stay waiting for someone who does know. It's basic logic. You just look it up sometime. Fuck you, bro. If obliged or not, suit yourself. I'll stay here until the heat death of the universe. If that means I don't have to run around looking for some magical memory trigger. Pebble on the ground. Couldn't care less about being late. School doesn't matter anyway. Nothing does. I mean, really, take a moment to think about it. It doesn't matter if you lived a good life or if you left a legacy behind. It doesn't matter if humanity survives for 1,000 years or dies out tomorrow. The end result is the same. The absolute nothing. Human intelligence is far beyond that of other animals, but it would be misguided to consider that a gift. All other beings have the gift of ignorance, of not understanding what we do. Our intelligence is not a gift, it's a flaw. It's an over-exaggeration of evolution. Extension, what the fuck am I talking about? Intelligence, once a great feature in eons past, continued to grow unchecked and unfiltered. It has since passed a threshold whereupon it is no longer a benefit, but an active danger to its host. Much like the Irish elk, a species of deer that through uncountable generations of evolution grew antlers so wide and vast that it could no longer run from predators, eventually leading to extinction. The human mind is an evolutionary maladaptation caused by going too far in a direction that was once beneficial and will, sooner or later, lead to our extinction. On an individual level, it's already happening.
existential dread is already taking over. I'm sure you felt it too. The pain and fear of being nothing, becoming nothing. The suffering of understanding that we aren't able to come to terms with it, so we hide from our own intelligence. We set limits. We stop ourselves from overthinking deeply about what will happen when we die. We create distractions. We keep our minds busy with mundane activities and entertainment to stop ourselves from having to come face to face with the truth. We sublimate it. We transform our self-reflective suffering into another form, art, to keep it from consuming us. Anything to avoid the panic. But these ways are simply temporary. They're just there to push back the inevitable veil of helplessness and despair that would encompass and ruin us. In the end, nothing matters. There is no point in trying to find joy in life, or life in and of itself, if it's suffering. You're wrong. Huh? You criticize those who consider your vast intelligence a gift, and yet also misguide yourself to believe your meaningless is a curse. How could it not be? Nothing we do matters in the end, and that is precisely why we are not shackled by the burden of expectations, the fear of eternal judgment, or the failure to meet up to an arbitrary definition of what makes our limited time not wasted. Time cannot be wasted, for there is no greater purpose to life than simply living it. But still, in that case, the meaningless of our actions draws to the same conclusion. There is no reason to act, for any action is simply a temporary fluctuation that will, nevertheless, lead to the same conclusion. Quite the contrary. Because we have no greater purpose, we are free to set our own, to create self-defined goals for which to strive. For some it may be nothing. For some it may be pleasure. For some it may be creation. For some it may be I did not read it in time. It is because we have no greater purpose. That time spent on goals set by oneself cannot be wasted. Cannot be time wasted. In the end, nothing matters. And therefore, you have no reason not to do what you want, rather than whatever illusions of greater purpose is forced on you by others, or even your own misguided thoughts. I do understand what you mean. However, that doesn't ease my fear of the end. Even if I were to try to find purpose, I would still be paralyzed by the thought of becoming nothing. And it is a thought worth fearing. However, abandoning purpose, hope, choice, goals, pleasure, and will cannot make that thought disappear. I think I'm retarded. The fear, however, can subside. Giving up is not accepting the end. It is simply accepting the fear of it. It is embracing despair rather than facing it. I see. Though as much as I'd like to embrace it, I'm nevertheless struck with that paralyzing existential panic. I understand it logically, and I know that there is no reason to live in apathy, I don't know. But my emotional side refuses to listen. The fear persists, and I cannot motivate myself to seek purpose. Despite knowing I must. This is true. The emotional is not controlled by the logical. However, they are interlinked. Just as the deepest, darkest depths of despair can overthrow reason and the logical, warping them to fit into that haze of depression, so too can reason influence and overpower emotion, regardless of how impenetrable its defenses may seem, by continually forcing it to subvert. I I might be dyslexic. Those creeping negative thoughts with the positive logical ones. The emotional mind will eventually, slowly, gradually start to shape to fit the logical. I did not read the comms correctly. It is not an easy job. It is not a quick job. It will sometimes feel like an impossible job. However, it can be done. With an immense amount of time, effort, and energy, it will improve. You can change. You can heal. And during the hardest times, when all seems lost and you want to give up, never forget. We will always love you. Well, I'll be damned. Guess you got a good head on your shoulders after all. Hell, I'm impressed. Man, I feel like I've just shed the weight of the world off my back. Or rather, you've done that for me. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've given me a lot to think about. And while I'm sure I have a long and hard road ahead of me, I'm optimistic. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, I'm optimistic. Say, we're already late for school, and it's become quite clear by now that no one's going to come lead us there. So how about you and I ditch the passion-draining penitentiary and go grab something to eat, eh? Yeah, sure. I've got nothing better to do there. You're paying though. Oh, you sneaky bastard. But, alright. I do owe you one anyway. So, what better time to cash out your did a nice thing to a girl way out of my coupon than how did I just... Yo, what's good? If you like that, and you think I should play the full game, well, I am playing I'm doing a playthrough right now. So the first rings will be just me replaying them, but I have not gone to the gluttony ring yet, and I don't know what's after that. And I think those are just the only two or only three. So yeah, if you want me to play them or videotape, like record them, then let me know. I might just do it anyways. I don't know, but leave a like if you want to see that. Yeah.